Hello and welcome to the Smart Chiropractor. I am Dr. Jeff Langmaid here at Dr. Jason Deitch, and every week in about 30 minutes, we break down ways that you can become a smart chiropractor. To us, that is having a payday practice, more sustainable and predictable income and revenue for your practice. And today we're talking all about why your spinal screenings aren't enough. Spinal screenings have been around maybe since the first day of chiropractic. Since the first day of spines. But times have changed, right? There's a time and a place for it. Last episode, we discussed monthly campaigns. Let's talk a little bit about the limitations of spinal screenings, and then we'll dive into why we believe booster campaigns or specialty campaigns might be a better and more effective way to think about generating an influx into your practice.
There's a lot of places to go with all of that, of course. And I think a lot has to do with sort of what you think about marketing and what you think marketing is. Too many people, too many chiropractors, unfortunately, sort of believe that, marketing is advertising, or as we talk about in this episode, spinal screening, right? That's marketing. Why? I go out, I talk to people, they come in, mission accomplished. But if you've been in practice for a period of time, and if you have a family, and you have, more that you want to do, sometimes it becomes difficult. In the beginning, I know when I first started, every opportunity I could get out to serve, connect, talk, touch, teach, and inspire people to want to come to the practice, that was great. And it was, it's what you do. You go out and be of service to people. But when you do it out of desperation, because you need more new patients every month, it sort of takes on a different energy. Should I go to my kid's birthday, or should I go out and, or their game or whatever it may be, or even just enjoy the day with your family? Or should I work, on my weekends also? You're typically not doing spinal screenings during your office hours, right? So it takes on a different meaning, and there's just different ways in today's day and age. Listen, pre-internet, you didn't have choices. What do? You gotta meet people. Where do you meet people? Well, you're not gonna do a spinal screening over the mail. So it just was very inefficient to do anything like you can today, basically on the internet for free, every day, all day. Spinal screenings are wonderful in that they really give you the ability to connect with people, literally and physically. But they're limiting in that, I remember, I'd go out and do spinal screenings. I'd be at a fair, a county festival, whatever it may be, thousands of people would walk by me. If I came back with 20, 50, 100 people that would be willing to come to my practice at the end of all of that, I'd be like, that's a success. And in those days, they'd be like, look what I got. In the internet world, it's all different, right? And it's like the question to some degree is, do you think like Blockbuster or do you think like Netflix? Are you thinking about the past or are you thinking about the future? And booster campaigns specifically are basically a way to, let's face it, those docs that go out and do spinal screenings typically do it because they need more new patients. And if you need more new patients, then if you follow our consistent, monthly campaign structure we've taught before, and you want to add to that, then you add a specialty campaign or a booster campaign. It's a way to boost your ideas or, boost the activity, your energy for something specific. The cool news is, as we've talked about again on these campaigns, there's a structure to it. Most of it can be automated. Much of it can be done for you. And what I really like, I'll probably say the most about it, is the variety. People, if you're going to have ongoing relationships with your patients and not just transactional, call me when it hurts again, Jeff, but have some sort of regular routine of some sort, whether that's weekly, monthly, whatever you feel is appropriate and they feel is appropriate, that will usually be a byproduct of teaching people something new they can learn from, something new that stretches their understanding of their possibilities they have for themselves. Specialty campaigns allow you to really hone in on a message, on an audience, on a product, on a specific activity or action step. You can really sort of enhance your results by thinking in terms of this campaign structure and then just sort of filling in when you want to boost the activity in your practice or boost an idea you want more people to know about.
Yeah, it's less. For a lot of docs, it also just feels like less selling. Like there's a lot of friction with spinal screenings because from a doc's perspective, and new doc, experienced doc, many experienced docs that have had tremendous success rely on them for the new patients, right? And we can break that down. But there's also this. Most people aren't like, well, I want to become a chiropractor so I can do spinal screenings, right? So there's an inherent thought of selling, and it's like nobody wants to feel like, the person where you're walking down the mall and it's like, skincare products. Hey, how's it going? And
it's that and worse. Too many people go, oh, my spine's so bad, you don't want to look at my spine. Oh, I'm too far gone. You're like, what?
Exactly, and that becomes an interesting challenge, right? Docs either don't do them very well, they don't want to do them, or almost God forbid they become reliant upon them and they become really good at them. And there's just different ways, and I think we would say a better way to go about it because times have changed and evolved. And when we look at specialty campaigns, it allows you to reach more people, right? Not just as opposed to people who literally walked by that you were able to start a conversation with to then sit down. You can reach more people, and you can also be much more linear, or you can be much more laser focused on exactly the message that you want to talk about. So I'd love to dive into a few of the specialty campaigns that you've created that we utilize within the Smart Chiropractor to stimulate some thoughts for the docs out there in terms of answering the questions that people are searching for and thinking of, not in a Google sense, but in the sense of really supplying benefit to their life. So when we talk about that, immediately it comes to mind for me is Look Up America. So that's what we define as a specialty campaign, and I'll juxtapose it to the monthly campaigns before I have you jam on it. And the monthly campaigns are what we see as the foundational element, 12-month calendar, monthly campaigns. They are going and going. It's automatic. It is forever. The specialty campaigns are things that you can insert depending upon when you need that boost in your practice, when it's a timely topic due to a news article. You get to choose when you turn it on or off as an enhancement to the foundation of the monthly campaigns, not a replacement. And Look Up America, I think, is one of the most impactful ones. So talk us through what does it mean?
Yeah, so it's my favorite boost campaign right now because it has nothing to do with selling chiropractic. It has everything to do with connecting with people in something that, in my opinion, could not be more relevant, right? So let's just start with what Look Up America means and stands for. We use the word look up for really three issues. There are three devastating ways in which most people who are addicted to their devices, right? So most people are on a desktop, mobile, tablet, phone, whatever it may be, too much, kids and adults. And this technology is affecting us. Now, there's been questions of, is Facebook bad for you? Are mobile devices causing addictions? And all this negative possibility to it. But I'm a big fan of these tools if they're used correctly. So one of our taglines for the Look Up America campaign is, we make Facebook healthy for you. Now, there's billions of people on Facebook right now. You don't need them all as clients, right? But there's certainly a massive audience, and many of them are watching the same news and reading the same articles, wondering, is this bad for me? Is this unhealthy for me? The three categories really are these technologies are affecting people physically, mentally, and socially. Physically, tech neck syndrome, which most chiropractors are very familiar with, right? So there's a difference between saying, hey, did you know that when you lose your cervical curve and it's a kyphosis moving forward, that's going to cause anterior pressure, misalignment, push, all this anatomy? That's true. Mm-hmm. I don't know many normal people going, really? No kidding. Tell me, is that kyphosis? What degree is my normal? Right? Most people are not thinking that way. But I do know that people are very concerned about their posture, the way they look, and their children looking down at their devices too much, and the impact that has. So instead of saying, let me tell you what I want you to learn because here's what I think is important, we can put ourselves in our audience's perspective. I think moms and families are the perfect ideal audience for most practices. And most moms are concerned today with the impact technology is having on themselves and their kids. So physically, look up means to take a mobile moment and actually look up. We think of it as, look every 20 minutes, look 20 feet away for 20 seconds. That's an easy campaign concept. And it starts creating curiosity in your audience to go, I've been wondering if this is good or bad for my kids. I've been reading a lot of negativity, but I saw your video, I saw your images, I saw your emails, and how are you making Facebook healthy for me? Oh, I'm supposed to look up periodically? That's a good idea. Oh, and when I follow you and your practice on Facebook, you're actually gonna remind me throughout the day to pause and take a mobile moment reminder? Thank you, Doc. That shows that you're not just going, are you hurt? You want to come in? Do you know anyone who's hurt and want to come in? What if I grind it a little harder? And how do you feel it? There's just a different way in which you're communicating and sort of building demand and building value by addressing people's issues. So if you want more families in your practice, maybe, having this sort of specialty campaign, hey, we make Facebook healthy for you. We make Instagram healthy for you. How? Well, when you subscribe to our tribe or follow us, one of the things we do is we share with you not just health tips, but what we call look up healthy reminders. What's the difference? A health tip is you should drink 5 glasses of water every day. A look up healthy reminder is you should look up and drink a glass of water right now. So there's a different value in the relationship you have with people. So look up, for example, just to share that campaign, 1, physically, people need to look up more, look up at the sky. 2, with all that's going on, the suicide rate has increased, depression rate has increased, drugs people take has increased, abuse, alcohol abuse, drug abuse, opioid abuse has all increased. And obviously most people believe, and the science seems to say that's because of depression. More people are just feeling bad about themselves. Now, there are those that will say it's because social media is making them feel bad. And that can be true, except why aren't we teaching our people how to make Facebook and Instagram healthy for them by teaching them that they can actually unfollow those things that actually are unhealthy for you? And you can follow those things that are actually healthier. And wouldn't you know it, I'm one of those things you should be following to help make your life healthier and your family's life healthier. So it's not an advertisement. It's not would you like to schedule an appointment? Because I have some openings Monday and Tuesday, and you sign up today, you leave a $20 deposit, and that normally $100. It's not that. It's building an audience of awareness of people going, I thought chiropractors were just for neck and back pain relief. You're the kind of caring person who's concerned about us physically and my children. You're concerned about our mental health. And you're proactively sharing with people things they can do that are essential today that I'm not hearing anywhere else. So physically, tech neck syndrome, look up. Mentally, depression, not feeling good, look up. Be more optimistic. Don't you think the world could use a little more positivity right now? And if you as a chiropractor aren't the one inspiring your community, who is? Right? Isn't that kind of our role? Is to share the possibilities people have, to live their greatness, to heal themselves naturally, which is another way of saying, allow the power you have to heal yourself work, right? It's all about potential. So be more optimistic, right? This world certainly now more than ever needs as many ambassadors of optimism as we can get. This is a vehicle to do that. And the third one really is this whole, we're all more connected, yet we feel more distant. And if you're a parent, or if you're anybody in today's world, many of us have felt that social disconnection. How many times have you walked into a restaurant, you see a whole family or even a couple at the table, husband and wife, and nobody's saying a word because they're all looking at their phones. So this third social benefit is when somebody you respect, care about, or want to show you respect and care about is around you, maybe it's time to put the device down and look up at that person and show your respect. So it's an easy way, we think in terms of campaigns. We all know, just do it. People don't want long dissertations. They want the quick thing, and look up is just one of those things that can say, take a mobile moment and physically improve your health. Take a mobile moment and be more optimistic. Take a mobile moment and actually pay attention to the people who are around you in that moment to actually demonstrate your respect and be the model for your children to put their devices down when you're around so they could show you some respect. We tend to be guilty. We want them, do as I say, not as I do. We're all guilty at some level of it. So these specialty campaigns, I'm really big on. I hope our profession really kind of helps this concept go viral. I can tell you, if the medical profession started going, hey, we make Facebook healthy for you, we make Instagram healthy for you, I'd be like, man, our profession missed that boat terribly. And the way they would make it healthier for people is to teach them how to do more drugs, more vaccines, more stuff, more toxins, more surgical products, more surgeries. That's what medicine sells. That would be just a rough thing for me to accept. I am an optimist. I guess maybe that's why I try to spread optimism. I think it's one of the greatest, sort of specialty campaigns our profession should be getting behind. I don't care what kind of chiropractor you are. In fact, I don't care who you are. If you've got a mobile device, you're connected to the internet, we all need as much positive optimism as we possibly can. That's one of the perfect campaigns to sort of address the issues going on in a positive, inspirational, we are in this together, we can do something positive about it together type of a way. And the cool news is it's all done for everybody. More optimism is a click away. Making Facebook healthy for people is a matter of, here's the cool part about it. How do you make Facebook healthy for people? You tell them they've got to subscribe to your Facebook page or subscribe to your Instagram channel or subscribe to your email newsletter because you're teaching them healthy things, not just healthy habits, but healthy reminders. That's what makes it real time. That's what makes you sort of a health partner and not just some, mentor, because they could Google anything and learn anything they want to. It's that connection of let's wake up every morning and get inspired together. Be a part of our tribe of other like-minded optimists and help us spread this positive message to as many people as possible. Right now, that's my favorite Look Up campaign. It's not the only one, but that's one of my favorite specialty campaigns that are out there.
And I really like the prompts because so much of the social media and whether it be YouTube, whether it be Facebook, whether it be Instagram, they want you to stay on the platform, right? Your website with Google as well. So the attention is what they're after, right? So when you can tailor the content in a way that's not like scammy or cheesy, but realistic. Hey, take 5 seconds and do this, and there's a countdown clock or that prompt. People stick around on that, which gets you the watch time, so to speak, or the engagement or the time viewing it. And that helps more people see it. So it becomes, you start being able to roll downhill a little bit here where it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. The prompt is actually what's best for the individual consuming it. It is a healthy piece of it, and it favors the algorithms of many of the platforms that helps you in turn reach more people, which is really a win for everybody. It definitely doesn't always work out that way, right? So it's nice when it does. And in that sort of case, it absolutely does. How would you think about, this will be I'll be interested to know your answer on this one. How would you think of a spinal screening and a specialty campaign today? Would you do spinal screenings today?
Yeah, under the right circumstances. So in fact, I would use a specialty campaign to drive the right traffic to my spinal screening. Okay, so none of this is spinal screenings inherently are bad. They're great, they're wonderful. You're meeting people, touching people, teaching them about their spine. That's great. The problem is when you leave your family, you're standing in front of Target and you're basically desperate to get a few more on the books before you allow yourself to go home. Not that that's ever happened to any of you. Maybe that was just me.
Massive pain going through the airwaves right now.
So, these are, good and bad, depends on how you use them. And so you could use, for example, the Look Up America campaign to say, we are teaching people about tech neck syndrome. We're teaching people about how to be more optimistic. We're teaching people about how to feel a greater sense of community, connection, and tribe. Where do I find that? You can do these things. You can continue to share videos online. You got a bunch of, you're referring to like breathe and pause and so on. All that's in our Smart Chiropractor vault. Docs are sharing these, videos or GIFs, what they call them, these animated pause. And that's always a positive reminder. It's like not an ad, but it's like we literally even have posts that say, take a moment to look up, just a friendly reminder from your neighborhood chiropractor. And who can't go, thank you. You know what? I needed that reminder. And it's also doable and realistic, because if you say to most people, you shouldn't be on your device very long, you shouldn't be on that thing, I'm going to go, you're right, I shouldn't, but it's my job, it's my camera, it's my music, it's my car service, it's my everything. So good luck, not going to happen. But you want to remind me every once in a while to look up? That's great. You want to remind me that, oh, you're having an event where I could find out, even if I don't have pain, my risk, my susceptibility of my spine, my children's spine. You captured my attention. You said something that aligns with my values. You stayed in touch with me so that your persistence, your consistency in the teach and invite consistently, you earned my trust and interest so that when you are, oh, by the way, either in my office, at an event, I will be doing spinal screenings and I will be giving VIP attention to my audience and their guests. When you see me at this event, when you see me wherever, keyword look up, and there's some special connection or something like that. This is not, that's bad, this is good. This is, are you using the right tools and the right time to get the right outcomes with the right intentions? My friend Patrick Tempo is often known as saying, one of the biggest problems is when we say, we need new patients. Most of the acts of most chiropractors' marketing is out of desperation for their need. And it should be the exact opposite. The question is, if you had all the patients you needed, if you had all the money you needed to at least pay your bills, I'm not saying you're traveling the planet on private jets, I'm saying that you weren't stressed out every month, month after month. You knew, the first of the month was payday, and that you were going to cover your monthly expenses that month. The rest of the month, you literally could focus on serving people. My question is, what would you do then? How would you think about what you do? Would you generously share with people good ideas to help make their lives better, whether they came into your practice or not, because you can afford to tell the truth and do the right thing? I would. I know lots of people would. And that's really the spirit here, is that too much of what we do as marketing is really an act of desperation out of our need, which is completely bass-ackwards. You're a doctor, you're a professional, and unfortunately, our communication models, and I'll say our business models, are not set up to succeed, let alone thrive in today's digital, virtual world. And that's what we're bringing to the profession, is a fresh perspective. Some may call it arrogant. We just call it what it is. This is the smart approach to how to build and grow your practice in today and tomorrow's technology, internet-driven, hyper-connected world. Hear me now, believe me later. It is what it is, but it's really understanding. We talk campaigns for blueprints. We talk about email and social and websites and YouTube and all these different things. The idea is not to just randomly throw a bunch of stuff against the wall and see what sticks and check out the data. Well, that one worked. It's to understand how all these tools really work to build your vision. And that's what I think most chiropractors have lost and are losing these days. And your vision isn't what's your financial goal. It is, what's your vision? What's your purpose? What will you look back on your career on and say, I'm super proud? Yeah, I took care of my family financially. Yeah, I put my kids through college, took care of weddings, whatever it may be. But I'm really proud of what I did and contributed to my community as a professional. Specialty campaigns, I think, are the perfect vehicle to be able to do that. You earn your audience through the regular monthly campaigns. You grow your audience with these sort of added extra bonuses.
Yeah, and a great thing to keep an eye on with all of the content, but especially campaigns additionally, is if you are a doc that likes to allocate a certain portion towards advertising, you can really get a feel for what's resonating with people, right? And now you can make informed decisions about what you want to put ad spend behind, instead of the classic chiropractic advertisement, the same advertisement for every single person that is a discount ad, right? You can really get the vibe of the people that you're communicating with. Who is your health tribe? Are they runners, right? Are they people who are spending a lot of time, like everybody, on their devices? There's different aspects to specialty campaigns that can really focus in on niche communities. And that is also some of the beauty of it, is that you're able to talk directly to, and you brought up a couple examples even within the Lookup campaign. While that touches on a variety of people, there are sub-niches where you might hear it differently. I might hear it thinking, gosh, Lookup, yeah, my kid's on his phone all the time, or I might hear it like I am. And that's really impactful, because the benefit of the campaign and great marketing, I think, speaks as if you're talking to one person, not to 1,000. And when you can have that connection with one, that there are hundreds or thousands of that one, but there's a different tonality in how you do it, and there's a different impact level.
It's serving over selling.
Yep, that is very well said, and a perfect opportunity to wrap today's episode. So if you want to learn and discover how to market in a smart way, in a more efficient and effective manner, head over to smartchiropractor.com/genius. You can pick up any of our smart guides, which break down different aspects of marketing, your practice, communicating, and there's a variety of strategy guides there to help you out each and every step along the way. And if you have not left a feedback or rating on this podcast on iTunes, please do so. Just scroll down if you're listening on your iPhone. Tap how many stars you think that we deserve. That helps us reach more and more chiropractors each and every week. And stay tuned next week, where we'll be back talking more about how you can create predictable and sustainable revenue in your practice by having a payday practice. We're gonna tie it into how you can become and maintain becoming a smart chiropractor. So for Dr. Jason Deitch, I'm Dr. Jeff Langmaid. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
This episode brought to you by the Smart Chiropractor. At the Smart Chiropractor, we solve the two biggest chiropractic marketing challenges: content and consistency. We combine an incredible content library with powerful automation tools to supercharge your marketing. The result? More new patients, more referrals, and more reactivations with automated digital content marketing. Here's what Dr. Matthew Barnhart had to say. We have loved this. We have already had 5 patient reactivations from the emails in 1 week. To learn more and get started, visit thesmartchiropractor.com today.